Okay, ready? Hi, I'm Crystal Whitlow. This is Stephen Pryor, and Stephen is the proud owner of Armored Massage. So, as we were on this journey of growing his massage business into something that's more than just a massage business, we wanted to start a little show to kind of track our progress, but also be able to talk about different things going on in the health industry, maybe bring on some guest speakers, and to really expand on all the ambitions that we have going on, and with the primary goal of just helping other people have healthy lives and to be able to recover well.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of good things in the industry. I've seen a lot of bad things in the industry. I have my own different style and techniques that I like to use. So this is just kind of going to be a conversation, some of the things that I like to use, and it's just who I am and how I've worked to build my practice.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna ask some probing questions so we can get Stephen's origin story to understand like why he's at what he's doing and where he's at, and also where are we aiming to be in a couple of years. So with that, Stephen, could you explain how you got into massage therapy?
I first stumbled into massage therapy because I was actually interviewing to be a personal trainer. I realized very quickly in the interview process at the school that I was looking at, I didn't want to just sell memberships, and I felt like the majority of personal trainers, they go to commercial gym and they sell the memberships, and they see a client for their free personal training sessions, get them in the door, get them working out, get them an understanding. I wanted to see somebody through a much longer process of their healing journey and of their fitness journey as well. Wanted to have a little bit more hands-on approach to it as well. And the school simultaneously has a massage therapy program. And so we passed by a classroom and I started asking a little bit of questions, and just through trials and through that interview process realized that massage therapy, there were a lot more outlets there were a lot more outlets and ways that I could directly affect athletes, and just in my own personal space, that I could utilize those skills a lot closer to what aligns with who I was. So
one thing that I think is super interesting that you've really brought to my attention is that like a lot of times when we talk about fitness, like we talk about like doing X, Y, and Z to get faster or stronger and ways to sleep well and eat better, but I haven't really thought so much about the recovery side of things beyond like drink lots of water and make sure you sleep. And so
do your stretches after your workout.
Yeah, do stretches, but like talking about massage therapy, like your practice is so focused on recovery, and it really opens up a whole door of like how much is there to recovery within an active lifestyle. And an active lifestyle is really like a pretty large spectrum. Like you could be like, just doing typical daily stuff, but not needing like a walker or a wheelchair or one of those things that are in between, or you could be like an athlete who's like competing for different events and needing different types of recovery. So it's like recovery is a pretty broad term, which I think is interesting, but like your practice covers like all of those in betweens. It's not just athletes, like it can be active people, but not necessarily an athlete.
Yeah.
We all need recovery, I think is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, all need recovery to some degree. If it's someone who's, like you said, someone who's wanting to not be able to walk with doesn't want to rely on a walker or a cane or something, or someone who's recovering from an injury or a surgery, even knee replacements or hip replacements, that's all a lot of trauma that is taken to the body. And then you see the professional athletes or top level athletes who are beating themselves up day after day in their events and their sports. They need just as much recovery as the person who wants to be able to carry their grandchild, continue to carry their grandchild, or wants to be able to get up and down off of the toilet or out of bed in the morning without being in significant pain or having to pop 5 different pills just to be able to function on a daily basis. So being able to look at the body from what and see the goals that that the individual is trying to do, and trying to be able to help them in that process and in that journey with them.
Yeah.
Be there with them.
I think it's really important when you share your story about your own shoulder injury and how that got you into massage. Would you like expand on that?
So about 2.5 years ago, I separated my shoulder. Playing soccer, actually went shoulder to shoulder with a kid, and I went flying and landed on it, heard a nice little pop, and I thought I had broken my collarbone. I had done it once when I was a kid, and it felt something similar. Feeling around, didn't feel like anything was broken. Tried to walk somebody through. I thought it was dislocated at that point. Got myself off. We got off the field. Ended up going to the hospital, and after a couple of x-rays, they told me that it was a separated shoulder, and I had torn 3.5 out of the 5 ligaments that holds down the collarbone to the shoulder. And they said, well, let's get you all scheduled for surgery. It would cost $10,000, and it was about a month, scheduled a month out from the initial injury date. In that time, I was already doing certain techniques and things that I had known because of massage therapy. I'd know KT tape or rock tape is something huge that I use in my own practice, and I've used for years outside of that. So I had some friends in the industry who I was able to utilize their skills and helping with releasing some of that muscle tension, that just the body's natural way of protecting itself. Those muscles bind up and they kind of get locked into place really quickly. So being able to relax those muscles and increase blood flow, utilizing the tape to help with decreasing some of that inflammation, as well as increasing the blood flow again to that area, and just helping with circulation to that shoulder. A little bit of physical therapy on the beginning end of it, and I was actually able to avoid a surgery, a $10,000 surgery, because of some of the massage techniques that I had learned. Ended up spending about $1,200 in physical therapy on top of continuing with the KT or the rock taping and some of the massage work, getting that done on the shoulder.
That's crazy. Like, what I don't understand is, like, you were using, like, you know, taping and like massage therapy and physical therapy. Like, those are all like external practices to do, but the surgery is internal. So like, what would have was your body able to attach those tendons? Sorry, were the tendons or ligaments?
Yeah, so the tendons that were attached to that shoulder.
Like, how did they reattach themselves?
So they actually, originally, the surgery wasn't going to fix any of that. What they were going to do is they were going to do what was called a wishbone suture, which is they would drill a hole in the collarbone, the clavicle, and they would attach the clavicle to my first rib, which to me, it pulls it back down into alignment, is all that it was going to do.
To your rib? That's a huge space.
The first rib is right underneath the collarbone, actually.
I'm a goofball. Okay, got it.
I
didn't realize.
Yeah, your rib cage sits right high enough on your chest, and then it runs all the way down. Your rib cage is rather large.
Yeah.
And so all they were going to do is just pull that collarbone back into place so it properly aligns with the shoulder joint. But in doing so, they weren't going to fix any of the ligaments or tendons that had been torn. They were just going to rely on scar tissue to be able to kind of help mend itself. And later down the road, that'll probably be a little bit more of an issue. But as long as I keep up with my range of motion, my exercises and stretches and things that I know what to do, it should be able to limit that pain or that discomfort.
And you would have had to do that even with the surgery?
I would have had to do that regardless. And if I had gotten the surgery, it would have actually set me back, because they would have had to go in, cut the muscles, and cut all of the other things, actually drill a hole in the bone, pull it back down, and they would have started me over from square one.
Right.
And I had already had a month of recovery before the surgery was already being taken place. And I still would have had to do physical therapy, and then still would have done all of the other massage things that I already knew how to do.
Right.
It's just that realignment. that would have happened.
Yeah, it's just so crazy that like surgery is like the first go-to to fix anything. When like it's just like a part of our culture. Like, oh, I broke something, now I need to get a surgery. When like in all practicality, like that wasn't really what you needed. Like you needed those ligaments to get reattached.
And I can't tell you the amount of times that I've seen people who have had severe neck pain and whatnot, and the surgeon that they have, their orthopedic surgeon, is a little bit knife crazy and just says, okay, well let's get you into surgery and let's go ahead and fuse those few vertebrae, instead of addressing some of the more underlying issues and be like, okay, let's consider chiropractic work. Let's consider physical therapy. Let's consider massage therapy.
Or even just like lifestyle choices.
Or different lifestyle choices.
Yeah, I feel like we could spend a whole episode just on like surgeries that happened that really shouldn't have happened because it didn't really fix the issue, because the issue was a lifestyle problem.
And a lot of times people who have gotten those surgeries, it might fix the initial pain and discomfort, but there's always something greater that comes along the road, 3 to 5 years later. That underlying issue tends to rear its head again, and because the body's really good at compensating and kind of adapting to whatever you're giving it.
Right.
So yeah, if you're sitting in a chair all day hunched over looking at a screen, your body's going to get used to this fixed position where everything in the front is really closed off and everything is weakened and overstretched in the back. So if we can, I know, right? So learning where to be able to integrate corrective exercise, some physical therapy, be able to strengthen certain parts of the body, opening up different other areas of the body and stretching out certain parts. Just knowing the anatomy and how to be able to work with it and how to be able to stretch and utilize and actually heal yourself in a sense.
Yeah, no, I really like that a lot. Bringing this back to like your origin story and like what you're doing, could you explain the name Armored Massage?
Armored Massage, I see it for a couple of different reasons. One of the best that I knew of is back in medieval times, you had the knights on with their shiny suits of armor, and everything worked so perfectly.
The armor itself
was so uniquely woven together. You look at different styles and different from different parts of life and different parts of the world, all different styles of different armor and whatnot. But it all worked wonderfully together. Allowed the knights to be able to walk relatively freely with being guarded. But the moment something got chinked or something got or kinked or something went out of whack, everything else started getting stuck, and then the armor started getting weaker and weaker, and it was actually a weak point because that knight wouldn't be able to use the armor to its full advantage and its full potential. So that's kind of where it started for me. Was that idea of something working in such perfect unison, and if something was out of whack, it's going to have a direct effect to the rest of the body.
Oh wow.
And so let's correct this underlying issue so that the rest of the body can work fully.
Oh, okay. I feel kind of silly. Like we've been dating for 2 years and I didn't realize that was the reason. I thought it was more of a Christian reference of putting on the armor of God and like taking care of your body.
That's the other reason.
That's the other reason. Okay, I was like, wait, have I been totally off this whole time? So,
no.
I do like that. I just remember one time, I think I was wearing my Armored Massage sweatshirt to like a dance class, and my partner across from me goes, "Ooh, Armored Massage, that sounds painful." And I was like, "Oh, it's not supposed to sound painful." So, but I didn't have like time to explain like the whole reasoning behind the name, but I really like that a lot. That's good. Do you want to explain the Christian part of it?
Really, the Christian, because I'm a Christian, I have that my faith does fall into does have a huge impact into my practice and who I am, and just outside of my practice and in general. And biblically it talks about putting on the full armor of God and being able to protect yourself from your head all the way down to your feet. So I wanted to be able to integrate something that sounded cool with something that had a lot of spiritual meaning for me.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think it does. Yeah, and so then I guess like the last thing I just want to address today is like, what is your ambitions with your business? Like where, like describe for us like where you are right now and where you'd like to see yourself.
So right now I am working at a little home, out of my home studio that I have in Grandview, in Kansas City. Most people just know it as Kansas City, but in Grandview I have a home studio that I have my own practice that I have set specifically only for massage patients and clients that I see there. Down the road, I would like to be able to have a facility that provides that combines my love and passion for performance and athleticism and training and going to a gym and just getting in a physical shape that I'm personally can be proud of, and then pairing it with the recovery side of things.
Wait, when you say get in personal shape, do you mean your own personal self in shape?
My own personal journey, or just people in general.
Wait, just to kind of recap that, you're looking to start a gym where you can combine physical fitness with recovery, with massage techniques.
Yes.
Okay.
But more than just massage techniques, be able to I have found a lot of healing from personally. I have had a lot of healing happen in a gym while I'm working out, while I'm doing something. It's a time for me to be able to better myself in one way, shape, or form. And I feel like people who go to the gyms goes to a gym, that's what they look for. They're there to better themselves. The one thing that has kept me outside of that place, that I've had so much healing and so much, I've built up my self-esteem there, I've built up confidence, and it's just been a good place for me mentally, as well as just spiritually as well. And the thing that's kept me away from there has been an injury. And so I wanted to create a place that will actually keep you in that same environment, that we can keep you involved and keep you in a routine, because that's another huge part of it. When you get injured, you fall out of that routine of going to the gym and getting your exercises. You also lose that sense of encouragement from just the people that you see on a daily or weekly basis there, the faces that you get to know, the names and the people who you build a relationship. And the one thing that kept me away from that place was an injury. But if we had a place that was able to still keep me in that routine of, okay, I'm going to the gym here no matter what, and have a team that can come around me and people that can come around me and say, okay, just because you're injured here, that doesn't mean that you are down for the count. Here's some other exercises, here's some stretches, here's some massage work as well, some recovery massage that we can do to get you back to continuing to exercise and become this version of yourself that you want to become while you're the reason you're there. So it all boils back down to, why is the person there? Is it, if it's just to look good, outside of the gym, if they want to lose X amount of pounds, or if they want to be able to carry their groceries or get out of bed without being in pain. Be able to have all of that under one roof and under one building, to be able to help out with that as much as possible. So yeah.
That's awesome. That was like the perfect answer.
Cool.
Well, this is exciting, and hopefully we can do videos like this, hopefully on a weekly basis. I don't want to get too over eager and then whatever, but hopefully we can do this and we can record like best practices or misconceptions that we see, have some guest speakers come on. So thank you so much for watching. We look forward to doing more of this. Please let us know any questions that you may have about massage therapy, or specifically for Steven's practice, and we will talk to you guys later.
Bye guys.
Bye.